First at 5, we are learning new details tonight on the Amazon delivery driver who is held at gunpoint in the Mountains Edge area. Fox 5's Danny Maston has the story only on Fox 5. Joins us now with details of an arrest made in this robbery. Danny.
Well, Joe, Metro Police have arrested 2 suspects in connection of robbing the Amazon delivery driver. They have been identified as 19-year-old Ricardo Atkins and 20-year-old DeAndre Peterson. Police say both were on electric monitoring from a previous robbery in which they were taken into custody on August 11th. I was able to obtain ring video of the armed robbery, which took place yesterday morning when the driver stepped out of his vehicle to make a delivery. Once the driver returned to his car, the video shows Atkins and Peterson approaching, pointing a gun at him, asking for his car keys. Neighbors I spoke with yesterday tell me they would like to see more police presence in the area and the community come together to make it safer.
Before, this was just a quad and a dirt mountain that people would come and do their recreational activities, but it's so much more than that. We have people who live, we have elderly, we have the young, we have everything here, and we just need a little bit more community involvement for us to actually have the community that we've all built.
Metro did confirm they were able to locate the stolen car and say the suspects did not open any of the packages that were in there. Joe, I'll send it back to you.
All right. Danny, thanks.